Hello, my friends. This is Natasha, founder of On Purpose Projects, bringing you another tip about how to create a high performance business website. This is one if you're a startup and you're looking to get a website. And I want to just caution you against something because this is going to drive your web people completely crazy. And what I'm going to describe to you is a scenario that is very common but very counterproductive. Okay, it's not going to work. It's not going to be helpful. And I'm really going to caution you against this because if you don't follow my advice on this, it's going to create a lot of frustration and the project will be more expensive. So, yesterday I got a call from someone who had been referred to me, and he is a guy who's opening up a hair salon. And he sells hair product and they do barbershop stuff. And he's like, yeah, I need a website. I was like, well, what kind of website are you looking for? And he's like, well, I'm not sure. And I just want to show pictures of my product and I want to have a book an appointment on like a calendar integration. I said, great. I said, well, what do you want it to generally look like? He's like, well, I don't care. He's like, you decide. And and I said, well, do you have any written text for your website? Could I kind of get a feel for what your business is about? Like, can you send me the written content that you're going to put on the website? And he's like, well, I don't have that. He's like, I'm looking for someone to do all the writing for that. And I said, well, how can someone else write about your business if you're a startup? Like, probably you don't have anything written, so how can someone write it for you if you haven't even gotten it out of your own head yet? And he's like, well, no, he's like, I'm looking for someone to do the research and do the writing and just do the design, and I don't want to deal with it. And if you're a startup and that's your feeling, I just want to let you know that that's a dangerous, expensive place to be. And I know from my experience, having done hundreds of websites, that in most cases, I'm not saying all, but in most cases, when someone says that, it's not that they trust me. It's not that they trust the person they're hiring. It's that they can't be bothered to do it themselves. So it's more a sign of laziness. And what normally will happen is I've learned not to take clients like that. Like if a client doesn't know what they want, I'm not going to touch it because there's just too much margin for error. I'm not going to be able to guess what they want and get it right. Like it's not possible. So unless the client has a plan of what they're looking for, that's not my kind of project. But what will normally happen, because I've done this before, I would be, okay, great, yeah, no worries. And I'd feel like I had all this creative license and I would get into it. And then we'd send it to the client and they're like, no, that's not what I want. And even though they had told you, no, no, I trust you and whatever you think, and we deliver what we think, and we're off base. So they have an idea in their head, but they just can't be bothered to communicate it to the web people, which again just creates this cycle of frustration on both parts. The web team is frustrated because they're not getting clear direction. The client is frustrated because they're not getting what they want, even though they're not giving any specific instructions. So everybody's guessing, everybody's frustrated, the bills are racking up, and it's just a really bad place to be. And so if you're a startup and you're tempted to kind of come to the website project without having done your own due diligence and your own planning, I just really advise you to stop and reconsider because it's just going to stress out whoever you hire. You're going to be completely stressed out because you're not going to get what you want. Like in your mind, you have an idea of what you want. It's just you just feel like you're too busy, you're too much on the go, you just can't be bothered to get it out of your head and onto some paper. And however, if you really want to maximize your money and you're a startup and every dollar has to count, stop, plan, think, organize. Do the course that's in the link below because you're going to regret it. It's just, it never goes well when a client's like, I don't know, you handle it. And you think you can guess. You're not going to guess. Like the web team is not going to be able to guess what you want. So organize, take the time, do this right. It's your business. Do not let your web team be responsible for that. You have to organize what you want and your ideas and your text and your information and your images and your brand, and do not make someone else take responsibility for that. Again, and then expect them to be cheap. It's not going to work. So hope that's a tip. It might be a little bit stronger message today, but I just really want to look out for if you're a startup. I understand every dollar counts. Get the most for your money by doing your due diligence on the front end. Again, there's a course link below. It'll help you get everything organized, and I will talk to you tomorrow.